Donald Trump has tried awfully hard to downplay his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein over the years. Feels like every day we're learning new details of just how close they really were. The latest drop in that bucket came from CNN, which revealed with newly uncovered photos that Epstein had earned a coveted invitation to Trump's 1993 wedding to Marla Maples. Well, our team did some digging too in the NBC News archives, and it turns out there's also footage of Jeffrey Epstein from that wedding. There he is, strolling in amongst the guests for Trump's reception at the Plaza Hotel.
Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were at one point very close friends/business partners. We know that they moved in the same social circles in the 90s, particularly in New York and also Palm Beach. According to flight logs, Trump flew on Epstein's private jet 8 times between 1993 and 1997. In a 2002 New York Magazine profile of Epstein, Trump called the disgraced financier a terrific guy. Trump's name appears beneath a sexually suggested letter and drawing. It was in Epstein's so-called birthday book, released by the House Oversight Committee. Trump certainly denied that the note is his. At some point in the early 2000s, the president and Epstein had a falling out. No one knows the exact details of that falling out, but multiple reports offer a few clues. Some say it may have been over a piece of real estate in 2004. Epstein and Trump got into it over a Palm Beach mansion. This was reported by the Washington Post. It may have been when Trump supposedly banned Epstein from his Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach, Florida. A few years later, Trump suggested that his beef with Epstein started because he stole young girls from his Mar-a-Lago club. A former Mar-a-Lago employee said she was recruited at Trump's Palm Beach club by Epstein's girlfriend and co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell. She says that she was recruited when she was a minor. We're talking younger than 18 years old. And this was by Ghislaine Maxwell. She wanted the underage girl to perform massages for Jeffrey Epstein and his clients.
He's covering it up. He fought us the entire time. He did everything in his power to stop the Epstein files to be released. He even forced Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, to do everything he could do to stop it from being released. It was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. We were even shut down for 8 weeks. We had a government shutdown back in the fall of 2025 for 8 weeks. And I believe that was part of trying to prevent the Epstein files from coming out. The only time I reached out to him was via text message after I had resigned and he had been attacking me, and I was receiving I can't even count how many death threats. And but the death threats escalated on one of my children, and I had sent those death threats to the FBI director, Kash Patel. I sent them to the Vice President, J.D. Vance, Susie Wiles, James Blair, and I even texted the president. And I was so upset over death threats on my children because of him. And the quotes and the death threat were from what the president had been calling me a traitor. And I'm not a traitor to my country. Standing up for rape victims doesn't make me a traitor. And I reached out to the president and to let him know this is what's happening because what you're saying about me. And he was very unkind about these death threats. And so that was our last exchange.
What did he say to you?
He basically blamed me. He had no compassion for death threats on my children. He blamed me basically that if my son were to get killed, it would be my fault.
Multiple people feel like Trump is definitely hiding something when it comes to the Epstein files. You know how when guilty people get mad when asked about their involvement in something shady, and they get really snappy? This is how Trump reacts every time the Epstein case and files are brought up. Just see for yourselves.
Yeah, what do you want?
On the Epstein files, you talked about Democrats who were in there. Elon Musk was also in there, and so was your Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and correspondence that he had with him. Did you read those new files that were published by the Department of Justice?
I didn't. I have a lot of things I'm doing, a lot of things I'm doing. I don't know. You mentioned 2 names. I'm sure they're fine. Otherwise, it would have been major headlines.
A lot of women who who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally blacked out. Do you think that they should be more
transparent? The fact that
transparent?
they thought they released too much. I heard that, and you tell me something else. No, I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else. Really, now that nothing came out about me, other than there was a conspiracy against me, literally by Epstein and other people. But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
What would you say to people
like
who feel like they haven't gotten
healthcare,
justice, Mr. President?
something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to
are
the
so
survivors
bad.
who feel like they have gotten
You are the
justice?
worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. She's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile on your face.
Look how he started personally attacking the reporter because she's simply asking questions the American people want to know. He intentionally dismisses her questions and attack her verbally because he is simply hiding something dark, something heinous, something that will cost him his image and possibly his freedom. Now let's continue.
You know why? You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth, and you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you. Okay, go ahead.
Survivors of a sexual abuser.
I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody.
You've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's...
I can tell you why his supporters are so interested in the files. It's because Trump ran his whole campaign on seeking justice for the Epstein victims and exposing everyone involved. Plus, the American people are tired of paying taxes to a corrupt government who would even be a part of something as heinous as the Epstein trafficking ring. Now, once again, let's continue.
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring.
So, in other words, seeking justice for all the children who were abused and trafficked is boring. Finding the creeps on Epstein's client list and bringing them to justice is boring. Basically, these creeps are still out here operating. I think the people who voted for Trump have been bamboozled by another demonic con man. Let's just be real with ourselves. This orange demon with the red hats and baggy suits is definitely covering up and redacted the files that implicated his demonic activities. I feel like majority of politicians are behind it. That's why they'll always hide the true, unredacted files from the general public.
And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say let them have it.
What did Jeffrey Epstein read in the email that you knew about the girl?
I know nothing about that. They would have announced that a long time ago. It's really, what did he mean when he spent all the time with Bill Clinton, with the president of Harvard, who that is Summers, Larry Summers, whatever his name is, and all of the other people that he spent time with. Jeffrey Epstein and I had a very bad relationship for many years. But he also thought strike because I was president. So he dictated a couple of memos, no stuff, give me a break. You're going to find out what did he know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knew, including J.P. Morgan. Yeah, Jennifer, go ahead.
Incriminating in the file, sir. Why not act?
Quiet, begin. Quiet, begin. Quiet, begin.
Yeah, this guy is definitely guilty of something. It never fails. If you're a reporter with access to the White House and want to agitate Trump, just mention the Epstein files and his connection to him and Ghislaine Maxwell, and you might get called a piggy, or the worst ever. At your job. This is absolutely unbelievable. It's so obvious this man is deep in the Epstein file cover-ups. And what makes it even more important to bring down the creeps is the fact there are many more Epstein-like characters still operating and working with the redacted names from the files. Ex-CIA case manager Robert Steele mentioned how there's an Epstein operating in every state in America alone. In case you missed it, here's the clip.
I want to point out to people that Epstein is just one of 50 Mossad cells across this country. There's one in every state. And across every single state, we have governors and legislators who have been entrapped in pedophilia. They are on video doing bad things to small children. That's how the Zionists got 27 states to make it a felony to call for a boycott of Israel. They didn't get 27 states to do that because it's a good idea. They got 27 states to do that because a majority of those people are on video doing bad things to small children. That's how they repress legitimate criticism of the Zionist, genocidal, apartheid, criminal, invented state of Israel. Never to be confused with the decent Jewish people, of whom we have 9 million that are eligible voters in the United States. That's 9 million out of 200 million. The power of Israel in the United States is not based on 9 million Jewish voters. It's based on lies, bribery, and blackmail. And Jeffrey Epstein is the pinnacle of how Israel blackmails U.S. politicians and so forth. Former spy. I've done a tour in counterintelligence. When Epstein was arrested the first time, I went on record, and anyone can look up Robert Steele, Jeffrey Epstein, fake billionaire, or Robert Steele, Jeffrey Epstein, Mossad. Let me give you the ingredients of the story. Number one, Epstein is a fake billionaire who was added to an existing prostitution network. Ghislaine Maxwell, in my judgment, is a Mossad officer. Her father, Robert Maxwell, was the most famous Mossad spy in U.S. history. He pioneered software backdoors into all governments everywhere, but particularly the U.S. and Canada. And there's a book that I've reviewed, Robert Maxwell, Israeli Super Spy. So let's start with the fact, in my view, my opinion, Ghislaine Maxwell was a Mossad officer running a high-level prostitution ring that included children, boys and girls, entrapping people in a relatively low-level way. They needed someone like Jeffrey Epstein to pretend to be a billionaire, to suck the elites in, to be one of the boys, and to normalize pedophilia as a daily routine for people like Bill Clinton, and actually Hillary Clinton. Bill likes girls, Hillary likes girls. And so Jeffrey Epstein was given a letter of credit, $1 billion, by Les Wexner. I didn't know the name of Les Wexner in 2008. Now I do. Les Wexner is one of 9 major Zionist billionaires in the United States of America. And to my great interest, I found out that Sheldon Adelson is not one of the 9. So Sheldon Adelson, even though he supports Israel, may not actually be the traitor that Les Wexner is. Les Wexner is not only said to have funded Epstein, he's said to have funded the 9/11 false flag operation that Israel carried out from 1988 onwards with Dick Cheney's active complicity from 1990. And your viewers can find that story at tinyurl.com/911-POTUS, P-O-T-U-S, for President of the United States. So the second ingredient, or the first ingredient is existing prostitution network run by Ghislaine Maxwell. Second ingredient is Les Wexner funds a fake billionaire, lends him his house. All of the stuff that the government is confiscating from Epstein, they're actually confiscating from Wexner. Okay, Epstein doesn't have a penny to his name in real terms. The third element of this is that the CIA and the FBI were complicit from day one. They've been sharing the take, and they've been protecting Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Zionists, not to be confused with decent Jews, the Zionists, the Cabal, the Luciferians, not to be confused with decent Jews.
That's another fact that needs to be distinguished. The Zionists who are behind Israel and people like Epstein should never be confused with decent Jews who truly follow and practice their culture and religion. In fact, let's check out the difference between the two from a certified rabbi's perspective.
This is the difference between Zionism and real Orthodox Judaism. Here we have Rabbi Beck, and he's going to explain to us that very difference.
Zionism don't believe in God. They're going against the commandments of God. They're emptying out Judaism from the religion, filling that in, transforming that into a national movement. Judaism means believing God. Zionism is rebellion in God. Judaism teaches humanity, mercy. Zionism teaches kill other people, take over someone's lands by killing the Palestinian people. The only solution, according to Judaism, the state of Israel have no right to exist. The whole land, from the river to the sea, will go back to the Palestinian people in full. We hope it will happen soon in our days, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Rabbi Beck. And there you have it. Zionism and Judaism are nothing alike.
There it is. Israel's flag. Burn. Burn them. Yep. Burn it up. It's burn. Wow. And raised it up. Go red. Yep. This is Jews. Not this.
This is Jews. This is Jews.
Salvation. Wow. Word up. Well, here you go. What? All right. Yeah. There you have it. Yep. We are not anti-Semitic, nor accept any viewers/commenters who are. In fact, Night and Day Network LLC actually embrace real practicing Jews because what they represent. The Zionists behind Israel and people like Epstein are not that. Instead, they're invaders, infiltrators, leeches, vampires, and blood-sucking fiends. Nothing short of a synagogue of Satan. Let's continue.
They have committed 44 major strikes against the United States, acts of war against the United States of America, starting with the USS Liberty, including 9/11 and moving all the way forward to Epstein. Okay? 44 strikes. I will say it is my view that by 2024, the Zionist parasite will be eliminated from the United States of America and our economy will come back to normal. And by 2026, the invented state of Israel will no longer exist and Palestine will once again be Palestinian. And the one last economic thought that I forgot to mention, pedophilia entrapment is not used to make money. It's used to influence policy, and it's also used when working with corporate and spy agency people to get software backdoors so that the Zionists can do insider trading. Goldman Sachs is very good at insider trading, and we're not holding them accountable for it. The Mossad took over the Department of Homeland Security, and they use that to penetrate all law enforcement computers around the United States. So when you look at Epstein from an economic point of view, you need to look at the fact that the United States government is hemorrhaging money, $7 trillion spent in the Middle East, as our president has said, for no good end, because Israel was able to blackmail Barack Obama and Baby Bush with the assistance of Dick Cheney, who may still be in charge of the U.S. government using the Continuity of Operations program. And it was able to force us to go to war in Iraq and Afghanistan when everybody knew, including Steve Piasak and myself, that bin Laden had died in 2001, and he had said he had nothing to do with 9/11. It was an inside job planned by the Zionists, published in Benjamin Netanyahu's book in 1994 or so, and carried out 3 months after the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey sold the buildings to Larry Silverstein. The governors of New York and New Jersey, the mayor of New York City, Rudy Giuliani, and the senior leaders of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey will one day be held accountable for 9/11 as an inside job, insurance fraud dressed up as terrorism that murdered 3,000 people.
Law and order, yep. Look. Close up. Well.
I just read the nastiest shit I've ever read. They said Donald Trump, the president, had parties at Mar-a-Lago called Calendar Girls. Jeffrey Epstein would bring the children in and Trump would auction them off. He measured the children's vulva and vaginas by entering a finger and rated the children on tightness. The guests were elder men and included Elon Musk, Donald Trump Jr., and Ivanka Trump. What the? Mind you, this is only one thing that happened on this list. And there's, what is it? It was 3 million?
3 million files. They deleted that.
And they forgot that one. Auction off children. These are the people that are in office.
These niggas, they measured them with their what, bro? Oh my God, bro.
It's
no,
like,
this is actually like, no, this should be... This should be world-shattering to everybody. Regardless of whether or not you were prepared for it or you're used to hearing this shit, this should light a fire in you that understands that your government is being ran.
It's
if you support this nigga, bro, when it came out, right, when Trump won and niggas was like, oh my, come on guys, we can still be friends, it's just politics. No. If you support this bitch ass nigga after hearing that, I don't support no pedophiles. Gang.
Trigger warning on the word I'm about to say. It's like, yo, I'm reading this list and the word rape is in every single paragraph. These are rapists. These are pedophiles. These are the scum of the earth that y'all have let into this office.
Multiple times.
And that are leading this country.
If that is not enough for you to stand in opposition to every single goddamn thing that they do, nothing will ever be enough for you.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Trump low-key told us the lukewarm version of that when he was first starting. Grabbed him by the...
Yeah.
He already told y'all he was doing that shit.
We already seen the pictures of him with Epstein in the 90s. Talking about the British royal family in this list. Jesus. Andrew Cuomo's in this list. Holy
oh, God! Alright, yo, killing Graham.
Guys,
it's almost like the class of people we've been talking about. Do actually share the same class?
Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, John W. Nicholas, Linda Kitts. Yeah, this is wild. And they just deleted.
Get all these niggas.
Guys,
get all these niggas. No, get all these niggas. Lock them up.
There's no conversation in defense. They just uploaded it and deleted it because they're like, oh fuck, this might tear it all down.
They were already legally past the deadline. They already were committing a crime, not releasing it when they were.
They were stalling for so long to hide that, and they still didn't hide it.
Yeah, get them all gone.
Get them all gone.
Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! What do you want your legacy to be? Let's go. What do you want your legacy to be?
Go.
And he was welcomed here. He's terrorizing communities and
Time to go.
He's terrorizing communities
Time to
all
go.
over the world.
Time to go.
From Puerto Rico.
Let's go.
Free DC, free Palestine. Trump is the Hitler of our time.
Comfort slows you down. Reach for natural relief. Night and Day Hemp's extra strength CBD pain relief balm melts into aching muscles, delivering warmth you can feel. Soothe your body naturally. Feel free to move again. Night and Day Hemp balm melts away tension so you can enjoy every moment. Feel the difference fast. Real relief, real results. Order now at Night and Day Herbals.